movie Citizen Vigilante is getting a lot of attention right now after it was banned in Germany and clips have surfaced on X. And I will just say outright, the directing looks kind of bad. You know, I was watching these clips and I'm like, was that his choice for angle and music? But I'm just kidding. I have not yet seen the movie, but the controversy is bubbling up because there are these clips depicting this vigilante character played by Armie Hammer massacring the family of a group of asylum seekers who claim that European women deserve to be, if you know what I mean. Now, I can only play one of these clips where they have a discussion, and this explains why the film is banned. Ultimately, some people online are describing, a lot of libs are saying that it's an anti-immigration Nazi Death Wish movie, right? Literally the movie Death Wish, where you had, was it like Bronson or whatever? They did one with Bruce Willis, where he's getting revenge after his wife is murdered or something like that. This movie is basically a dude gets fed up with all of the migrant crime happening across Europe, as well as the corrupt judges. So he starts killing them. And I guess if you're there are a lot of people in Europe that are going to pay money for this movie. So here's the funny thing. I look at this and I'm like, considering the populist uprising, the backlash against mass migration and these, the rape gangs and all of the stuff that's going on in Europe, Homeboy saw this as like, it's free money, bro. I'm going to say it right now. Not disrespecting the film or the director or anything like that. I'm just saying straight up, people are going to pay money to see this movie. And it's, I'll put it like this, you make a product for an audience that wants to pay for it. Again, the movie is dude goes on a vigilante killing spree against quote unquote asylum seekers. And I got to say this one scene where he's basically talking to one of these rapists who raped a young woman. And they explain the political narrative and what they believe. It's like one for one with the real world. It is. And then you get the murder fantasy, I guess, of him killing these people. And it's like, yikes, bro. But let me read you this. Uwe Boll denies he's a Nazi after his immigrant murdering movie gets banned. Oh, yeah. Immigrant, they call it. I would put it like this. Rapist murdering movie. You know what the funny thing is? Kotaku and a bunch of these other outlets would be praising this film if it was a woman who went around murdering rapists, so long as the rapists were white dudes. Right? Right. Imagine this, the film. Armie Hammer finds a woman, she's been brutally raped, and she's like, it was some white frat guys. And he shows up and he's like, you think that you can do this to these young women? And they're like, hey, man, look, we're just messing around. And then he kills them. All the feminists would be like, woo, they'd be cheering. All right. Uwe Boll, best known for his atrocious movies based on video game licenses, has just seen his latest movie banned in Germany for it's likely to incite violence against migrants. In a recent interview, Boll denied that the content of the Death Wish-inspired anti-immigration flick Citizen Vigilante, due for release by Quiver in the U.S. on Friday, makes him a Nazi. We've got this far into the story before mentioning the movie star's one-time alleged cannibalism fantasist, Armie Hammer. Yeah, Armie Hammer, apparently his career ended because stories came out that he fantasized about being a cannibal, like, that's what got him off. And people were like, that's kind of weird. Why can't you just be like, I don't know, trans or something like all these other people that they would accept? Eating people, I got to be honest, way over the line. Way over the line. Uwe Boll has always tiresomely courted controversy, like an attention-seeking toddler pushing a vase off a table, and in recent years has made the inevitable move to far-right grifting. Citizen Vigilante is a wanton embracing of this, a film about a man who decides to go on a social media-celebrated mass murdering spree of immigrants after his wife is stabbed to death by a migrant criminal. Deadline explains that his targets are mostly but not exclusively migrants. As a result, Germany has refused to give it a rating and as such prevented its release. He goes after judges. He goes after corrupt politicians who release criminals onto the street. And only at the end of the movie, is my understanding, does he actually kill a family of migrants. And we have a clip for you. I'm not going to play the, so let's see. We have this clip, which is actual murder. This one is just talking. I want to show you to give you an example. And there's no, I'm not going to play any, like, you can go on X if you want to see the more graphic stuff. I'm not here, again, guys, to show graphic content for shock value or anything like that. I'm here to talk about the moral framework, the state of politics. So the dialogue here, I think, matters to understand the film, and we'll play it here.
what was it? Traumatic integration?
We're all getting mental help now and support.
So I believe this guy right here who says we're getting mental health support is one of the rapists.
We will be better in the future. I promise that.
It's the right answer. The only problem is that on your social media, since the event, I have not seen any regret or empathy. In fact, I think you said that she deserved to be raped.
What I mean is that they dress wrong and just make boys horny with their mini skirts. They show their legs and breasts.
You wrote that she deserved it.
I will delete it.
Are these the values you're teaching your children?
I teach him the values from Quran and these values from our family.
Well, if these are your values, that women in America and Europe deserve to be raped because of a dress code, why did you come here?
You know that we have several war in our country and we have a dangerous life. That's why we are here. And I think you know that.
Do you know what I think?
Why?
I don't think it was the good ones that got out of your country. I think it was the bad ones. And I think you brought with you your archaic value system and your commitment.
So I'll just say right off the bat, it's on the nose. You know, listen, I'm not, you know, I'll check the film out. I have not yet seen it. So I don't want to be overly critical at having seen it. Just the scenes that I've seen so far, like that statement is overly on the nose. It is like a fantasy vision of somebody who wants to express. I don't know that. I certainly think there'll be a lot of people that fantasize about exactly this. It's kind of terrifying. But again, the challenge here is you're talking about a family that celebrates the brutal rape of a young woman because she dressed wrong. Wouldn't feminists be a fan of this? And this is why I wanted to talk about this movie. Because again, I have not seen the movie, so I'm not here to criticize anything about it. Again, I have not seen it. What I will say is this. There is outrage from liberals on the left. They banned the movie in Germany. But hold on there a gosh darn minute. Once again, if this movie was Armie Hammer getting revenge against the patriarchy, it would be it'd be curriculum viewing for schools. Not seriously. I mean, it's a brutal murder movie. But because he kills immigrants who say these things, now it's bad. Feminists had a hashtag kill all men on Facebook go viral. And they got in trouble for it. Facebook started banning people and they said, why can't we put this? And they were like, because you're advocating for killing people. And they're like, oh, but it's feminism. Now imagine if a guy made a kill all women. They'd be like, oh God, what's happening? Right, exactly. You know, let me find this meme. Let me find this meme that is so famous. You'll love it. How do I find this one? This classic. Here we go. The dark side of God. Oh, wait. That's not the image. Oh, don't worry. I got it. Let's see. Lady shoveling poop over wall meme. That's what it is. So here's the template from Image Flip. It's a woman and she's shoveling crap and throwing it over a wall, and then they throw crap back. The original comic was that she wrote, it's like the crap says feminism. She flings it over the wall, and then they fling it back. She says, help, I'm being oppressed. The point being that these people, they will attack you and say this movie is racist, it's bigoted, it's wrong, but they will fantasize all the same about the things they want to do. I'm not saying this movie is good or it should have been made or the scenes are good or anything like that. I'm saying they banned it despite the fact it's completely hypocritical to the things they claim. And thus, my friends, the point is, as I've often said, what matters is your capability in manifesting your moral worldview and enforcing your moral worldview. What I mean to say is, this movie got banned. I guarantee you there are feminist films that are just as dark or brutal that don't get banned. You're allowed to, in the UK, let me put it this way. Many rapists in the UK are released from jail. That's why the movie is getting made. Because at the same time, the people who criticize the release from jail go to jail for naughty words. I've seen videos of the police showing up to a British citizen's house being like, did you say that there's a bunch of migrants that are raping and murdering? And they'll be like, well, yeah, I saw a news report that they said, I saw statistics. And they're like, all right, well, that's hate speech, you're under arresting. And then they lock them up. We see all these stories where people go to jail for years and these migrant rapists do not. That's why you get this stuff. People are getting pissed off and a market has emerged for it. So anyway, just the hypocrisy, I think, is particularly interesting. That being said, I'm going to watch the film, and I'm sure it will be evocative to everybody. To the left, complaining that it's just an immigrant murdering movie, but to the right, they'll be like, a lot of people feel that way. I'm going to leave it there, my friends. Smash the like button, share the show with everyone. You know we got more coming up for you throughout the day. Stick around, and we'll see you on the next bit.